Hello, this is Father Bill. We're at St. Callista's Church, and we're going to talk about the Gospel in John for the fifth Sunday of Easter. And this Gospel's pretty unique. Well, they're all pretty unique, but in this one we see two of the apostles are engaging with Jesus shortly before he gets arrested and is going to be crucified, but they don't quite understand what he's about. We might have the image that the apostles were kind of called and they were perfect and there's no problems at all, and that is really untrue. If we look at the Gospels closely, we see that the apostles had to grow in their faith. And so that's something today I thought we could just ponder: lifelong faith formation. Here's what happens sometimes in the past in our Catholic Church is that people have this notion of, I've got to get all the book learning and go through certain things, and then when I get confirmed, I'm kind of done. And even, unfortunately, some parents, they get tired of hassling with their kids. They say, hey, you get confirmed, okay. You don't have to go to church anymore. You do what you want, which is terribly wrong. Sorry to mention that. But so how do we look at lifelong faith formation? You never say, I'm done. You never say, well, now I've got it. Now, if the teaching of the church was just like an equation, learn this, memorize this history lesson, you say, I get it. Okay, I can move on. But it's not. It's a lifelong engagement with what Jesus is about. And God is greater than any human mind, whether you're Einstein or a soccer player or whoever. God's much greater. So no matter how brilliant you are, how wonderful, there's more to learn about the mystery of God's love. You never have it all wrapped up. And so the idea of like, well, now I learned my faith growing up, I got confirmed, I'm done, that's wrong. What we're going to say, we realize this is how it is. You have a lifelong call from God to keep growing in the mystery of his love. If it was just an equation or something to learn, that would be different. Or if we just said, it's a bunch of kind of head learning, mistakenly, some people might have that notion, that's wrong. What we say is an engagement with the powerful, searing love of God that is the most exciting thing you can run into. A lot of people haven't really experienced it, but this is what, drives the apostles, Mary, all these wonderful people, the saints we know, even people we know in our own parish. You catch that fire. C.S. Lewis said, the good infection. He called it the good infection. It was like something that you caught and then, boom, you can't. It's just wonderful. It drives you. So what we want to be is on fire with God's love. So we have lifelong learning, lifelong faith experience. It's not just learning, but it's a whole experience of what God's all about. Looking for that wisdom of God, that joy of God, that beauty of God, and putting that into practice in our daily life. We see in today's gospel, two of the apostles were still having trouble getting the whole picture of what Jesus was about. Thomas says, show us the way, Lord. We don't know, Jesus, we don't know where you're going. What is the way? And Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Mysterious, deeper answer than just I'm going, over there to Jerusalem, or I'm going there. Something much deeper. And so Thomas, we see, does not quite get the whole picture yet, and he has to grow in his faith, as all the apostles did. Philip then says, Lord, show us the Father, that'll be enough for us. Well, Jesus says, I've been with you this long, Philip, and you still do not know me? And we realize, St. Paul said, Jesus is the image of the invisible God. You see Jesus, you see what God is about. You experience Jesus, you know the compassionate love, the goodness of the Father. So somehow Philip wasn't quite getting that. Now, nothing wrong with these apostles. They kept growing in their faith. They became saints. All the apostles but John became martyrs and great witnesses. They're the foundation of the church. But we realize if they had to grow in their faith, so do we. Peter and Paul had to grow in their faith, so do we. So God invites us to have this ongoing, kind of interest and excitement and investigation of what God's about. And the wonderful thing is the mysteries that God reveals to us, the goodness, have a direct impact on our everyday life. Teach us how to love people better, how to forgive, how to be a better witness to what God's about, and to experience the joy of knowing him. So today we honor our apostles as the foundations of the church. We also they remind us, yes, we have to grow all through our life and have a lifelong growth in the experience of God's goodness and love. So God bless you. Have a beautiful day.